Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. We got plenty to talk about. So it's just the two of us this week. So let's get right into it. Micah, checked out. You watched Murderbot.
Yeah, I watched the first two episodes of Murderbot. It is a science fiction action comedy. Based on the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. And it's all right. It's all right. It's not, it's not great. The Murderbot Diaries is about a security robot, cyborg that calls itself Murderbot. And it just broke its governorship. And now it has agency, and because it has agency, it can do whatever it wants.
Right.
But it kind of is depressed, so it doesn't really want to do shit, but just like watch bad TV all day.
Fair
and
enough.
Just kind of loaf around. But it still has a job to do because it still has to do its job. Because if it doesn't do its job, and they find out that it has agency, then it will be demolished, and it doesn't want to die.
Okay.
So it gets assigned to a human, a team of humans, and hilarity ensues.
Not so much.
Yeah, not too much. I don't think you would like this. I don't think you would like this. I know Terrence wouldn't like it. So like, if you're listening, Terrence, just don't bother. I don't think he would have anyway, but like, don't bother.
I think so.
Yeah, I enjoyed it enough to get through the first two episodes, but I don't know if I will continue to watch it. The first part of it is kind of rough because they just kind of give a bit of an exposition dump within the first first few minutes of the show. And I don't know, Alexander Skarsgård is not what I pictured in my head when I was reading that first novella. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just like the humor's not translating for me.
He doesn't seem like a funny guy to me.
Well, he's a different kind of funny, right? Like he was great in Succession, right?
Yeah.
Like, but he wasn't like, he wasn't trying to be funny, but he just kind of was playing like a Elon Musk type character, right?
Right.
But this is like, this guy's too good looking to be like, oh, man, the humans, they're fucking weak, pathetic assholes. I can't believe I have to watch over them. I just want to watch this space opera all day, Like he's not like it doesn't
work.
I don't know. There's just something that's not like clicking.
So what I think of when you're talking about that personality, who I think of immediately, because he's also played a robot, which we'll talk about in a minute, is Alan Tudyk. Like playing K2SO.
K2SO is Murderbot. That's brilliant, actually.
Right, that's what it feels like. The personality makes sense.
Right, that's the personality that Murderbot should be having right now, and it doesn't help that like Murderbot looks like Alexander Skarsgård, right? Like he's a cyborg, so he's got like a human face. And it would be better if it looked like an actual like robot that you can't like look into its eyes, right? Because it's
right.
Yeah, K2SO. You stick K2SO in this series,
it works,
and it works. I think.
It's just, we're gonna talk about Andor, but like I rewatched Rogue One, and like when she shoots K2SO because she thinks that she shoots another robot that looks like him, he walks in the room. He's like, "Did you know it wasn't me?" Like, what the fuck, lady? Like the way the line is delivered is just hilarious. And like, I feel like the show needs that. And I think that's a part of it. is you shouldn't see his face. But I mean, that's the part of the story. So, I mean, that makes sense. But having a human face kind of fucks it up. It feels like to me.
Yeah. It just, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. They're only a half an hour, which is why I was able to watch both of them. The second episode is better than the first one. Like the first episode is like, oh, we got to get all this fucking preamble in here so that now we can focus on telling a story. But
that's not a good look for a series.
No, it really isn't. Like you can drip feed that stuff, which is what the book does, right? The book, like, you don't know what's going on, right? And slowly you kind of do figure it out. But here they're just like, this is Murderbot. This is what he is. This is what he does. This is why he's the way he is, and this is what's going on right now. Like, it just is too much. It's just kind of odd. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't recommend it to you two. I don't know if
don't worry.
If yeah. Don't worry about it. Unless you're like a huge fan. Don't worry about it.
I can't imagine that's true. All right, you watched Final Destination Bloodlines. By the way, look, the only way I know Final Destination's out, besides you telling me how excited you are, is I logged into Max to watch something, and it's like top 10 movies that are being watched on Max, and it was like number 3 was like Final Destination, number 4 was Final Destination 2. Like it was just like all the way down the line in the series. So people are clearly catching up to watch it, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, man. Look, this is the best one in the series. Made $51 million domestically this weekend. This is a 25-year-old franchise, Jay. Fucking old.
Yo,
man.
That's wild, man. 20. Jesus Christ. And a pretty successful one. Pretty successful.
Yeah, man. Look, this is the best one. This is the best one, I think. Because they finally worked out the kinks, right? Mm-hmm. They finally they took the best parts of everything, and the story's still ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. So the premise is that the premise, and they all have a flow and a beat to them. This one is slightly tweaked. I'll give you the premise of this one. A college student is having premonitions or visions, bad nightmares, as opposed to good nightmares, of her grandmother at a young age being involved in a horrific accident in the not Space Needle.
Right.
And she's like, and she can't like shake this stuff, right? She's having these nightmares every night, and it's the same nightmare every night. These people are just dying in this gloriously horrific way. So she goes to seek out her estranged grandmother and to see if she can get some answers and some closure. And the grandmother is like, yeah, all that stuff really did happen. Or no, that I had the same premonition,
right?
And I stopped it, and I saved a bunch of lives that day. Right. And death is pissed, and everybody that was supposed to die in that Space Needle and not Space Needle accident, death is coming back for them and coming back for their descendants, because their descendants weren't supposed to exist.
Right.
Right. That's the premise. And the thing with these...
Including her descendants, obviously.
Including her descendants. And the thing with these movies is that they always say, oh, well, death has a design. And it's always been some overly convoluted way to say, okay, well, this person's going to die, then this person, then this person, then this person, right? Like in the first movie, it was like, well, this is where the explosion started, so it would have killed this person in the back, and then this person up here, and then this person up here. It's convoluted in a story that's already convoluted, right?
Right.
Now, this one, in the new one, it's, hey, we are direct descendants of this person, therefore these people are going to die in the order in which they were born, right? So if my theory works out, dad's going to die, then kids are going to die, then this kid, then eldest kid, then middle kid, whatever, right?
Right.
And then it jumps over to the next side of the family, right? And if you are not part of that bloodline, you're probably safe, right? Because like you're not, you would have been alive. You just married into the family. What this movie gets right is one, there's only one premonition, right? And like some of the other movies, they kind of had to cheat. They cheated and gave people like multiple mini premonitions. Like, oh no, something's gonna happen. Look out! Like, shut up, bro. Like Final Destination 4 stinks, man.
Also, why are so many people having premonitions? It just seems really odd.
Right?
Is that God?
And just having them like willy nilly, right? Like,
yeah, it's supposed to be one in the beginning and be done.
This is going to happen, right? Like, there's one premonition in the beginning. That's it, right? Yeah. And two, another thing the movie gets right is the bread and butter of this entire franchise. It's the set pieces, the setups, and the kills, right? Like, it's all about, well, what do you think is going to happen here? What do you think? Like, ooh, that could do it. Oh no, that could do it. Ooh, maybe that can do it, right? And even things that you think are like, oh, well, this person moved this because this was obviously a death trap, right? Well, it turns out maybe they shouldn't have moved it because you moving it may result in something else happening, right?
You've started the Rube Goldberg machine.
Right? And the set pieces are very, very fun, man.
That cookout in the trailer was pretty fucking great.
It's really fun, man. And look, there's a scene of some of the characters walking down a street as if you were, if you're taking this too seriously. There's a scene of some characters walking down the street, and that scene is just like, I won't even describe it, but like that scene just let you know, like, no, we're in this for a good time, guys. Like, this is fun. This is silly, right? Like, don't think too much of it, right? It gets the set pieces done really, really well. Look, this is Tony Todd's last movie, and it's very sad, but what they did is they had him read a couple of lines that were in the script. And then they said, hey, Mr. Todd, if there's anything you would like to say about life, because, Tony Todd was very ill. He said, if there's anything you'd like to say about life to your fans, just speak from the heart. And he did. And it was beautiful, man. And he's just like, he's telling you about like, embrace it and hold on to it because you never know, right? And then he says, good luck. And then you hear a little Candyman sting in it. It was very good, man. It was one of the best send-offs that you can give someone that knows they're on their way out.
Yeah. And to have him do it, which is dope. Like not an homage to it, but him from his own.
To have him do it. And he looked ill, man. He really did.
Yeah. I've seen the images. Yeah. He looks very frail.
But, the movie is very fun. What the movie gets wrong. Another thing the movie gets right, characters. These characters in these other movies are paper thin and they are not likable or relatable. Like some of them might be relatable, but like it took them a while to get characters that you care about, right? There's two schools of thought when it comes to horror, right? There's characters that you don't like and you want to see them die, and there's characters that you do like that you don't want to see die, right? And a lot of these movies have characters.
Really,
a lot of these movies have characters that you don't like and you want to see die. But I think the other way around is a little more like it gets you invested into it a little more, right? And they are likable enough that like you feel bad when they die, but not so much that you're like, oh man, I hope they live, right? Like it's like, no, I can't wait to see how this person dies, right?
Yeah.
What the movie gets wrong is it's very front loaded with its creativity in the kills. Some of the best kills happen in like the first 3/4 of the movie, and then it's kind of like they ran out of ideas in terms of how to kill some of these folks. And but look, if you have never watched a Final Destination, which a lot of you may not have because this is a 25-year-old franchise.
Some of you are not even old enough to remember the first one.
Right, which was dormant for 15 years or so. This is a great way to jump on. I would watch this one, then I would watch 1, 2. I feel like 6, 1, 2, and 5 are must watches in that order, right? And you can watch 4 or 5. They're kind of standalone, but they're not as good. Although the roller coaster scene in 3 is really good. So look, I'm very satisfied. I got what I wanted. It did well. So we're probably going to get a few more of these. I hope they don't burn themselves out. But if you can just if they can think of more creative ways to kill people, I'll be here for each and every one of these movies, man.
This is going to be a 45-year-old franchise. Mike is going to be in the last movie, giving his final rights. Well, here's what I think. I can't believe these movies are still going on. Embrace it. No, that's cool. Yeah, look, I thought the trailers for Bloodlines was pretty good. It looked fun. I'll catch it when it's available on streaming. I'll definitely watch it. So I watched the penultimate episode of season 2 of The Last of Us.
It's almost over.
Yeah, it's only 7 episodes this season.
Oh.
Yeah, man. It was really good. This episode focused on what the reason was that Ellie and Joel were sort of on the outs when the season started, right? Because you don't know. And again, I've never played the game, so I'm just kind of like, oh, we'll just find out together, right? Like, so I have no idea. And they basically go through the whole idea of Joel shooting, was it Eugene, the wife, or excuse me, the husband of Gail, who is the psychologist that you meet halfway through the season. And she mentions him killing Eugene, but like you don't know who Eugene is at the time. I don't know if that's true to the games or not. I have no idea. But
Gail, I think, is a made up character for the show, but I believe Eugene is mentioned in passing in like codex files and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So in this one, or in the show, what happens is he's married to Gail. They find him out away from the camp or what have you, and he's bitten. And he's got he was like, oh, I got about an hour. By the way, he's played by Joe Pantoliano, or Pantiolano, or whatever, however you pronounce it. The dude who eats the steak in The Matrix, as everyone knows. And who's a phenomenal actor, by the way. And so he's like, look, I got about an hour before I start to change. Can you guys just take me back to the base? I can say goodbye to Gail before I go. I need to see Gail, right? Which is the way he delivers that like request is very good. You're just like, yeah, I fucking get it, bro. Like, because you know you're going to die, right? You know you have to be killed, but you're trying to make it back to your wife to just say goodbye. And it is heartfelt. And Joel and Ellie are the ones who find him. And so they're like, all right, like, cool. We'll take you back. And Joel's like, nah, that's against protocol. No, don't think so. And Ellie's like, oh, put your hand up, make sure he's not shaking or whatever. She's like, he's fine. He's got like an hour. It's okay. So Joel's like, all right, cool. Ellie, go get the horses and bring them down, and I'll stay with him, to keep a gun trained on him just in case shit goes left. And she's like, you're not going to kill him, are you? And he's like, no, I promise. I swear to you, I'm not. And she goes to get the horses, and Joel's like, oh, let's just walk down this way. And he walks him right to the bank of like a river and just fucking shoots him in the head. Like, because, Joel's a man of principle. Like, not trying to get
this is the Joel. This is the game Joel. Right? This is game Joel. He's a dickhead.
Right. You're like, why'd you lie? Yo? Like you looked Ellie right in the face and you straight up lied. And then they drag his body back to the base, and Gail is there, and they're explaining, he was, we had to put him down because he was already turning and all this other stuff. I think he says, because there's a fucking bullet in his head. And then Ellie is just standing there, and Ellie's like, "That's not what happened. Joel said he wasn't going to kill," and like just fucking dimes Joel out, and Joel's like, "Bro, like what the fuck, man? Like,
right?
Why are you telling people the truth? Why are you bringing up bullshit?" And it breaks Gail's heart, obviously, and it just creates this massive rift between Joel and Ellie, and that had gone on for like 5 months. 5 months until the final scene basically is the night of that party where the guy's like, "Ah, fucking dykes," and then Joel comes in and fucking knocks the guy down and all that other shit, right? And it ends with that conversation they have on the porch that you don't see happen in that first episode. Which then she's like, "What happened with the Fireflies? And if you fucking lie to me, I think I already know, but if you fucking lie to me, we're done forever." And Joel confesses to, like, Pedro Pascal's performance without saying any words is powerful in that scene. He does a really good job because he's kind of crying through the answers and shit, and he feels horrible. And like, it's really good. It's a really, really good episode. And they also start the episode off with like a series of flashbacks, like year over year of like what he does for Ellie's birthday. The like takes her to the Space Museum. I know that's in the game and stuff like that. Like all of that stuff, like shot for shot, it looks really good compared to the games. But that final scene is really, really well done. And like the show was over. My wife was like, "Yeah, that's fucked up. Like, I get that she's mad, like, and everything else." And I was like, "Yeah, but you wouldn't kill your own kid for the chance of saving the world. You wouldn't." Like, that's what makes it so fucking good. That's what makes it so compelling. It's like, people wouldn't do that. Like, everyone would likely do what Joel did. I mean, not murder all of those people, but he wouldn't allow it to have happened. Like, "Oh, we're going to kill your daughter." No, you're not. Right. Because ostensibly that's who she is. And so she ends the episode where she was like, he tells her the Fireflies thing. And she says, "I don't think I can forgive you for this." And then he looks fucking crushed. Right. But she says, "But I would like to try." Right. And so those are like the final words she says to him as they're going to make it back to like getting back to their lives before he's killed by Abby. Like the very next day, basically. So it was really well done. They do a flashback that was pretty powerful. I don't know if it's in the game at all, but they showed Joel's father talking to him, and he was like about to like beat the shit out of him for like getting caught. Well, he taking the blame for his brother getting caught buying pot or some shit, and he says his dad's talking to him, and he's like, "You beat on us anyway. Like, what the fuck, man? Like basically, Dad, don't be on some fucking high horse telling us what to do. You beat on us." And he goes, the father tells a story of like how his dad like broke his jaw and all this other shit. And he goes, "Yeah, I've hit you guys." And like, meanwhile, the dad has like tears in his eyes. He's like, "Yeah, I hit you guys. But I don't hit you like that." And he goes, "When you become a dad, I just hope that you are," it's like, "I was a little bit better than my father. I hope that you are a little bit better than me." Right. And then he just walks out instead of beating on him. And that's the line he gives to Ellie. About like why he did what he did was doing a little bit better, like than his dad. Right. And so like, there's an interesting, like sins of the father trying to get better storyline, which is interesting because like Ellie is going to be, as she refers to, going to be a dad here in the future too. So it was interesting. It's a very, very good episode. So I think she confronts Abby in the finale. That's the guess that I have. I don't know if she kills her in this series. I hope she does. I hope somebody kills Abby. That would be kind of fun. Because fuck her, man. Joel saved your life, and then you just straight up murdered him. Like, that was fucked up. And in like,
yeah, but Joel killed her father.
Right. No, I get it. I'm just saying,
kill somebody's dad.
No.
Well,
I'm
not
saying,
your dad.
My biological dad would be like, "What happened? That's crazy, dog. Wow. So you want to get out of the cold? It's real cold outside." No, in all seriousness. No, I'm just saying in a torturous way. Like, she could have just put a bullet in his head, right? Like, to torture him, I think that's what felt egregious to me. Not that she killed him. Like, I get that. Dude, that dude walked up and shot your dad in the head. who was trying to save the world. I understand. But yeah, I hope she murders her because Ellie deserves.
So they're talking about four seasons of this show, and I don't know. I can't remember how long. I don't know how long the game is. Like I said, I've only watched clips of it on YouTube. You think this show can sustain 2 more seasons? I mean, you could probably do a whole season. This is what I'm thinking they're going to do. Because the game has you switch perspectives and play as Abby, I'm thinking a whole season is going to be dedicated to Abby and getting to know her and getting to know her dad. And then all of a sudden, it will culminate with her dad going into the hospital, and here's some lunatic going around killing people, and then you find out, and then Abby finds out, and then I think that's how that season will end. And I think the 4th season might be the last part of the game. It's kind of how I would play it.
I would make the argument that it probably won't focus on anyone but Ellie and her, or sort of surrounding about Ellie and the people in her life. I mean, that would be a decent derivation if they did that. But I think people would likely want to see it just going forward, not just kind of getting up to the same moment again. Like I could see maybe one or 2 episodes of that, but not a whole season. What my guess is, I think Druckmann said that they are fine to just kind of go it alone, right, and just do their own thing. My guess is it'll play tight to the game. However that works out, I have no idea. And then my guess is like they start to bring in some other characters that are important, and then they just go forward. But my guess is Ellie and I forget Ellie's girlfriend's name. My guess is they are not going to necessarily. I don't know if she ends up being like they're kind of road dogs and like that's how the game or that's how the show goes. I have no idea. Look, the show is very good. The show is very, very good. And I mean, I know there are people who don't want to watch a show with 2 women as the leads for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's
part of me. I don't get that. But like, I don't feel like the show suffered because Joel died. I don't. And like this episode has got Joel in it like throughout, but like I didn't think the previous episode sucked because Joel wasn't in it. I didn't think so at all.
Well, because you're a well-adjusted human being.
Try to be.
It's getting review bombed for the same reason the game was getting review bombed, and people were scared about the game, right? Because there were massive, massive, massive leaks when that game came out about Joel's death and how early it was, and all the preview footage only showed Abby, right? Like, or Ellie, right? And people were review bombing the shit out of the game because people are fucking weird and they don't want to, and they don't want to play as women for some strange reason. But people who like the game, it didn't suffer, like you said, like the show doesn't suffer just because Joel wasn't there. It's a storytelling tactic that is, it's not new, but it's very effective. Especially if you've played the first game. You've played as Joel, and now you feel like part of you dies, right? And but if you're not a well-adjusted, if being a guy killing other humans is your power fantasy, being a man specifically,
right,
doing that, then then you're gonna feel some sort of way, and then you're gonna go online and look for Cialis to try and make your dick work because like something's wrong with you.
Sad. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Like I love Pedro Pascal's performance. I thought it was really great. And maybe it's because I'm my brain works, or it's because I've never played the video game. But I'm just not so crazily invested in like these characters have to live in order for this show to be good. They don't. Like, is the show good? Yeah, it is. It's really good. That episode, the episode 5 with just Ellie and what's her face, Dina, like making it to, where are they, in Seattle, I think. And yeah, they're in Seattle, and they're like dealing with the WLF and all that other shit, and then those zombies like show up. That shit was really good. Like, that episode was really, really good. Okay, like, yeah, I mean, eventually they found Nora, and then Ellie beat Nora to death in that fucking basement or whatever. But at the same time, it was like I think Joel shows up in like a flashback at the very end, like, thanks for killing Nora, you get a free Joel memory. like that's what it felt like. But besides that, he was like the very end. It was like 10 seconds of the end of the show. No, I just don't feel like the show suffered. But again, you guys are weird. Like, I feel like people are very weird about like, oh, I can't watch anything unless I see a hanging dick. Like, I just don't require that. I like good storytelling. So it's just very bizarre.
Also, I hate to be crude, but like, people don't want to fuck Bella Ramsey. Like, that's another reason, right? Like they want, right? Porn. Exactly.
Watch porn, man.
Like, well, it's. I don't know, man. I don't know.
People are weird, man. Like, I
gotta raise kids in this shit, man. Like what the fuck?
I mean, it's very hot here, but apropos of nothing, it's very lovely. The cool thing about speaking a second language poorly is I don't have to overhear people giving bad opinions of The Last of Us as I'm walking down the street. I don't have to hear any of that. No. So it's just, I just don't understand it. Like, good TV is good TV. I've never been that type of person who is so locked into like, you gotta watch this or you can't watch this because the genders of particular characters or this is focused. I've just never been that guy. I've just never been that guy. So I don't know. It's very weird to me. All right. Let's talk probably way too long about one of the greatest things that has ever happened in the history of IP. I'll just start out my thoughts on Andor season 2 in total. And I will just say this, and I am uninterested in counter opinions, except for yours, perhaps. Andor season 1, Andor season 2, and what is it? Rogue One is the best trilogy in the Star Wars universe. It is, in my opinion. I don't even think it's close. I just don't think it's close. I don't think the originals stand up to it. I don't think the prequels stand up to it. Any of the cartoons, however you want to do that. No, I think this is it. Now, I am biased because I like this tone of it. So, I recognize that. There's not any denigration to any of the other stuff. I love all that shit in, fits and starts and all different levels. But this for me, this is peak, man. Like, I watched Andor season 1 when it came out. I watched season 2 recently, and the second I finished the last episode 12 of season 2, I just went straight into Rogue One. And I was like, you know what? This is it. Like, this is it for me. Like, it was perfect. I loved it. I just thought it was so fucking good. So your thoughts on season 2 in general, or the whole Andor world?
It's awful. No, it's excellent. It's excellent television. Look, I agree with you. I do think that this is probably the best thing that Star Wars has created for me. Yeah. Objectively, it is the most cohesive set of storytelling that any Star Wars property has had. Now that they have the benefit of hindsight and long form storytelling, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to acknowledge that, but no, it is objectively the most cohesive, well-rounded story in Star Wars canon, right? The performances are all great. The messaging, while it is very in your face, I think it is done in a way that gets its point across, and I don't even, it's not even like clever with it, right? It's just that if you don't get it, you just, I don't know. I don't want to say you're dumb, but
it's okay.
You know,
look,
kind of dumb.
No, but look, here's what I would say about that. I actually don't think it is. I don't think some of it is ham-fisted at all. And not that you said ham-fisted, but I don't think some things are as obvious. I think they feel obvious to you because you are much more tapped into what is happening in the world, right? So there's certain things that happen, and I'm just like, I'm that like that fucking DiCaprio meme. I'm like, like I recognize that, right? And I just think a lot of people don't see what the one-to-one things are. Like, I don't think people know. I don't think people get the reason Andor not killing Cyril and the other guy killing Cyril made way more sense, right? Like, because by normal Star Warsian sort of storytelling or just standard action movie storytelling, Andor and Cyril have this like parallel pace that they're running. And they got to come in. They met, somewhat in the past, and they got to meet at the end in your fucking Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader kind of storytelling. But for the guy on Gorin to kill Cyril made so much more sense, because I'm like, I see. Because that guy, like, Andor is above Cyril by that point, like character-wise. Like, he just is. He, like, I know, low-level criminal type shit. I'm doing way bigger shit. Get out of here. Like, you're just, you got to deal with your weird fascist Dom mommy over there. Okay, like, relax, right? There's a lot of like mother issues in fascism too, which is why Cyril had the weird.
Yeah, which is why Cyril has this dominating mother, and which is why he has this domineering,
his Dom mommy too. It's like,
his Dommy mommy.
Like, please stop. This is fucking making. This is hurting my penis. Please stop. This is gross. But to have the dude on Gorin, who the last moment you saw before he kills Cyril is for him to be talking about, we need to, like, he's right up on the line of like, we got to fight back. And then when shit is about to pop off, he's like, we need to do silent protest. That is the only, because he's scared, right? He's gotten all the way to the line of fighting fascism, but he retreats and he's like, oh, I'm not ready to like start shooting. This is a little too much for me. I'm not like that. But when the shit popped off and was at episode 8, which was phenomenal episode, absolutely phenomenal episode. When the shit popped off, he could no longer ignore reality. He could no longer retreat to what his reality was, which was a silent protest. You could no longer hide behind your keyboard and say, we need to do these things. We need to do these things. He had to step out into the street and he had to fight because he was given no recourse by fascism. And for him to kill Cyril made all the sense in the world. And Cyril's arc is fucking wild, right? Because here's a guy who joins up with this and it's all great. And what's his girlfriend say to him? You were fine with all of this when you were getting promoted. Right, Cyril is MAGA. Is MAGA? That's who Cyril is.
That's
exactly who he is.
And it's very, very obvious, right? Like that is what that character.
To you. I don't think that's obvious to everyone, dude.
That is what that character represents. Like when I saw it, that's why I said, have you watched episode 8? Not just because of the action scenes in it, but specifically that scene where Cyril is who might as well be wearing the fucking red hat, realizes, oh, they're not in it for me. They're not looking out for me. I'm their most loyal, follower.
Yep.
and they don't care, what I'm doing. And he's mad, and he doesn't know what to do, right? Because that's what happens when someone that you love or you trust lashes out at you, but you still love them. You don't want to, you just want to break something, right?
Right.
And that's what he's just walking around, and all of a sudden he sees this guy who he hasn't seen for literally years.
Yeah, quite
at this point.
Yeah, like every arc is a year different.
Is a year. So he hasn't seen this guy in years, and he recognized, and he's just like, ugh. And that's who he tries to take his ire on, right? And that's what people do, right? That's what these MAGA people, like these white people who are MAGA and in it for themselves, they get betrayed and they lash out at a minority trying to fight for their rights.
Yeah,
ultimately.
Trying to save them ultimately. Yeah, and I like that Cyril didn't get a redemption arc because he doesn't deserve one.
Right, he doesn't deserve one. He doesn't deserve one. Like, yeah, you can have your realization. Everybody needs to have your realization, right? And then it's, what do you do?
Yep.
And quite frankly, that is what I think the human condition would have people do. Just lash out, because it's very hard for people to break from indoctrination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, atheists don't just wake up one day and just like, people who become atheists don't wake up one day and it's just like, you know what? I don't really buy all this shit anymore. I think I'm done. Nah, man, like, something's got to happen. Yeah. Something's got to happen to you. Or if you're empathetic, something's got to happen to other people where you realize, like, I don't know, man, like, why would a God do this? Right.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the other way around too. Right. Like, it's the other way around. Like, if religion is what you have been brought up in, and you tell somebody, like, this isn't real or whatever, like, they have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to equate religion to, fascism, but I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
But yeah, man,
they're not equal, but they're friends.
No, they're not equal. One of them has the potential to do good.
I mean, the trains were running on time, for God's sake. No, there's so many characters I want to talk about. Look, shout out to Andy with an astute view of this. Look, apparently the K2 bots. Sometimes you just gotta throw a motherfucker. Like the
KX units are just like,
just throw people to death, which is just hilarious. But like, okay, Andor very specifically. There's a scene, I think it's at the episode, like the end of episode 6, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's the end of that arc, the end of the second arc, where you've seen Andor and Bix. They've had a little bit of tension, right? And you see where Luthen is like trying to see what kind of space he can put between them, right? And see, like, if he can manipulate both of them, not against each other, but he just wants to see where their loyalties lie. Do their loyalties lie to each other, or do they lie to the rebellion, right? Because it's important to understand, because that means if one person gets turned, if they're loyal to the other person, that other person could be turned, right? Versus the rebellion.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. What I liked about the end of episode 6, I believe it is that is when Andor has realized that your job is not to protect her. She is your equal in this shit, right? And I wrote in our Discord, egalitarianism is sacrosanct when you're talking about fighting fascism, because fascism is so divided on generally traditional lines of like, women are over here, men are over here. This is the power structure. It has to be, because it is ordered, and it is actually quite unnatural, right? I know there's a bunch of dumb red pill people who are like, no, that is natural. It isn't. People working together, much more natural, incidentally. And so, like, that idea of egalitarianism is sacrosanct in fighting this shit. And the way that they show that the best is you see, like, there's a scene, like, it's almost like a hard cut. Andor, like, doing shit or whatever. And so the next scene you see at the end, you see this person with a hood up, just like Andor. And so you're like, oh, there's Andor. And the person's like, hey, stop. And this person shoots them immediately and they walk out. And you realize it's Bix. And she's dressed exactly like Andor. And they meet up and walk next to each other as equals as they fucking blow up the building to walk away. It's like, because the whole arc was him being like, loyal to her more than the rebellion. I'm going to quit the rebellion for you. You and I are going to get the fuck out of here and all this other shit. And then in the end, he realized that he noticed through Luthen's behavior, like, oh, he sees her as an equal to me, not as actually less, right? Which is also shown in how Luthen treats his daughter, so to speak, later on, right? Like, Luthen recognizes that. Like, Luthen recognizes the power that Mon has. It's different than his, but he recognizes it. He respects it, right? Like, these things you would notice if you understand about what fascism is and fighting fascism and rebellion and stuff like that. So I don't think those things are as obvious to people. I just think that it's obvious to you, and I hate giving you fucking compliments. It hurts me because you're not an idiot. This is the best I can do.
And like, yeah, like. And what's weird, what's like sad about it is that, like, you see all these parallels with, like, what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this wasn't written last week.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, it's I think even Tony Gilroy came out and said, yeah, we just researched what how authoritarianism and rises.
Yeah.
And we based it off of that. And it's
turns
so
out the
sad.
The patterns are so fucking, they follow them so hard that you can just fill in the blanks. Fucking mad.
I mean, it's like a fucking adaptation, like, it's a direct adaptation. Like, it's so weird, man. Yeah, like it's I don't know, man. But yeah, this story, look, I love the they show that. I remember when Trump was elected, and one of our friends was like, when are we going to do something, right? Like, when are we going to like fight back? When are we going to do something? I love that this show shows three different sides to what it takes to build a rebellion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Represented by three important people. Mon Mothma is the front-facing side of it, right? Like, towards the end, she's just like, Emperor Palpatine is fucked up, and this is screwed up, right? She's the political side of it,
right?
Luthen is the subterfuge, right? Like, he is the cloak and dagger shit, right? Like, all the wet work shit, right? And Saul is the extremist wing, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
the far, to whatever side you want to be on, right? The whole, like, he's an anarchist, right? Because that's true freedom or whatever, right? And none of those factions get along. None of them. No. And I see that. I see it now, right? I see people who are, left of center, like, like politicians who are always like, okay, I want to do it, but can we? I don't know. Right. Hey, I brought you this evidence, right? Like, but where'd you get it from? You got it from the weird, like, cloak and dagger guys, right? Like, I don't know if we could trust it. Let's just try to do things by the book. Let's play fair as we try to take back our government, right? Because like, that's what they're like. And I see the saws, right, of like, let's just blow it all up, man. Let's just blow it all up. And I don't see the Luthen.
And then what? Mm-hmm.
Oh, just blow it up, bro.
No,
Then we'll
that
blow it
sounds
up
like a
again.
future me problem, not
Yeah,
current.
not even a future me problem. That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
And I don't see this. I don't see the Luthans because, like, if
You're
they're
not
doing
supposed
their
to.
job, you're
Yeah,
not
you're not
supposed
supposed to. Right.
to. But yeah, man, like no one's on the same page, right? And that's why stuff like this is hard. Whereas the other side, everybody falls in line. Everybody does as they're told, and
Well,
they
it's easier
don't
to move
question.
them. That's why it's
Yeah,
easy. That's why it's easy to culminate. Why do Republicans able to do this? Yeah, because they just get in line. They like, in a way, the frustration with the left is, while deeply annoying, it's a very positive thing ultimately. That you cannot
right,
all easily be herded to think one way. I know
right.
Republicans are like, all liberals think the same way. I'm like, no, the fuck they don't. Nobody gets
That's why
more
we
annoyed
can't
with
get shit
liberals.
done.
Right. Nobody hates more the nonsense of liberals than liberals. Like, shut up. Good God.
Right.
You people knock it off, right? So, yeah, no, those three factions are incredibly important. And like, it is not until the very end where you realize, and not even the very end, really, you have to watch Rogue One to see it all really kind of culminate. Like
Yeah,
you really do.
there's a reason why the Star Wars timeline revolves around BBY. BBY is before the Battle of Yavin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Battle of Yavin 4 is the end of Episode 4.
Right.
That's why everything is as you get closer to the end of Episode 4. That there's a reason why that scene where not even defeating the Empire, right? Just punching the Empire in the face and making them bleed. That is the turning point for that entire universe.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this moment leading up to this is so important. Like this is the Star Wars stuff that I really enjoy. Look, I like Jedi and all that, right? Like all that's cool, right? But like that faction has its own problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because they are very holier than thou, right? Like they're a religion that like thinks they know what's right, and but not all the time, right?
Yeah.
Even amongst their members, right? But like this stuff, the war part of Star Wars,
Yeah.
is really good, and you can see like people give George Lucas
and it's not even the war part. It's the guerrilla war part. Like the Clone Wars is the straight up war shit. Like this is sneaking around shit, which I love. I like all the subterfuge and all that other shit. It's really fun.
And look, people give George Lucas a bunch of crap, right? But like, he knew what he was doing. He had it, right?
He had
it just rumming around. He had the vision, but some of his execution was a little off. But I'm not one. I'll never be one of those people that's just like George Lucas never knew what he was doing. Like he created this shit that you watch. Like that's fucking ridiculous. Like don't be mad at that guy.
No, I mean I think you're right. I think he understood the framework. But yeah, the execution, like, no disrespect, but he could have never done this to this level. Just no.
He tried,
but it's just he was also making something for a different audience. Like we do have to acknowledge that Tony Gilroy is not making this for the like coming right off of like.
He's not making this for a mass audience, right? He's not making a mass a swashbuckling adventure with hints of message in it.
No,
right?
This is message.
Right.
Like I have just so many positive things to say about this. Like I think it is not lost on. It shouldn't be lost on anybody that the dude who basically. The hero of the story is a Mexican man. That should not be lost on anybody. I hope it's not. I like that you're nobody knows what the Force is. Nobody ever mentions it. It's not until Rogue One, if you watch Andor and Andor season 2, like no one mentions the Force until Rogue One, where they're like, "Oh, may the Force be with you." Like that's it. Nobody knows what the fuck that is.
that healer kind of hints at it,
Right.
right? Like I think they call her a force healer or something like that. But that's it, right? And why would they, right? That's people
Well,
don't teach
because
that shit.
yeah, Tony Gilroy is on record in saying like almost nobody knows what the Force is. Like it's just not a thing. It's not a thing. Like almost no one has ever seen a lightsaber. Like those guys, the Jedi and the Sith exist, but it's such a small. Like they just
the Jedi were practically non-existent at this point, right? Like they fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi is hiding out in the desert or whatever, right? Like they're pretty much non-existent. So yeah, it makes sense that Jedi aren't here to save you. And that's the one thing about Star Wars that at one point they were reliant on Jedi too much, I think.
Yeah.
Like if you see a lightsaber, you should shit your pants.
It needs to be a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it needs to be a big deal. Like, oh shit, that's a fucking Jedi, right? Like that's a warrior monk with telekinesis and a laser sword.
I mean, when Vader shows up in Rogue One,
they shit themselves.
Oh shit, son! Darth Vader's here. Let's get the fuck out of here. I don't know anything about Darth Vader. I gotta go. Like this nigga looks scary. Like that's all you know. Like the dude in all black showing up with a laser sword. I need to be on the other side of that fucking door. And it's just that scene. Like that scene just works really well. Like especially coming out of all of this like hyper serious shit, and then this dude shows up. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Here's this guy with a sword from hell, and he's throwing you around.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah. I've been watching like 12 hours of dudes just being like, we need to make sure they're not trying to steal our planet and use it as a military outpost to like, oh my God, a crazy religious person is swinging a sword around. We got to go. The one thing I will say is there is an aspect to me, like I really like the idea of watching the Andor show and then watching Rogue One, but Rogue One seems a little goofy in comparison, right? Like it's still serious very much compared to the other movies. But there's a little bit more comedy, so you're just like, okay, like this feels a little weird. And also you see like Diego Luna like be this hyper serious guy, and going from nobody's listening to this guy to like he's a captain or whatever, or admiral or whatever they deem him by the end of season 2, to like this white woman coming in and kind of like taking all the credit. And I was like, you haven't even been here. You haven't even been here. Get out of here. What does she have to say? Like, I've been here for like 10 years. I've been fighting for 10 years.
True to life, I guess.
Yeah. Mexican man didn't get no kind of credit. But yeah, man, like it's damn good TV. And if you are even remotely aware of like the political implications of what is happening right now, you get so much more out of it. You just really do. And even if you're like, well, I think everything in the US is fine, I'm like, pull your head from under a rock. But even if you believe that, just look at it compared to other fascist regimes, and you can see it. Like, Cyril's girlfriend. Yeah, where does she end up? Fascism comes for everybody, even its most loyal members. It comes for everyone. Yeah. Cyril's dead.
Yeah, Deirdre is in prison and she's for not following orders.
Yep.
Right, for stepping out of line, even at the Empire's benefit. Mm-hmm. She steps out of line and she gets punished for it. Like that's how they keep them in line.
Yeah, it's damn good TV, man. Like it's stellar television. It's super fun, man. I'm trying to get my wife after Last of Us. I'm gonna try to get her to watch start season 1 because I think she'd actually.
I know my wife wouldn't like this.
She's watching The Last of Us. I mean. She's watching a zombie show. This woman is changing in ways that I cannot like tell you. It's just fucking nuts. I'm like, all right, The Last of Us. All right. I was like, Andor's really good. And she's like, okay. I'm like, all right, we'll see. Let's slide on over to Star Wars. Let's see if we can, like. I just have to find serious versions of IP, and then it works. But yeah, I don't think I could get her to watch like the prequel. She's be like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Jar Jar Binks? I'm not watching this nonsense. Like, you know what? Fair enough. All right, let's get into topics this week. Let's burn through these.
The Bear star Lisa Colon Zayas joins Spider-Man Brand New Day. She is a fan favorite on FX's The Bear. She has closed the deal to join Spider-Man Brand New Day, the fourth installment in the Spidey saga from Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios. Reps for Sony and Marvel declined to comment. Details to Colon Zayas' role remain stuck in the spider's web.
Do they? Do they though? Do they though? Let's see. Born in 1972 in the Bronx, in New York City. She's of Puerto Rican descent. Who could she possibly be playing? 52-year-old wonderful actress that she is. Who do you think, Micah? Any guesses? Is she Boomerang, maybe?
It's quite obvious she is the Beetle 2. Tombstone's daughter. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, come on, man. Like,
yeah, Smart Money is on Rio Morales.
yeah.
Which, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
No.
Not at all. I think Tom Holland kind of also wants to pass this off, right? Like, because like you don't want to be. He's still a very young actor, right? And he doesn't want to be typecast as, you know, Spider-Man his whole life.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I get it. So, yeah. All right. Look, one step closer to Miles Morales.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna tell you, she's what, 52? You getting anywhere between like a 45 to like a 55-year-old black dude getting cast. That's it. Okay, like that's it. Like there is no conversation. That's it. That's Miles's parents. My guess is you likely get Miles in this one. I think Brand New Day is also you know, I don't think that name is the happenstance. Yeah. I think you get Miles. Right. I think you get it. And I think they give this movie, and I think Holland gets one more movie and then he passes it. I think this is a bring him in, and then they have, you know, like it's a Tom Holland movie, but he brings in Miles. Is Miles in the suit? I don't know. I can't answer that. No idea. But Miles is in that world, right? You were at least introduced to Miles at some point. And then my guess is they have a movie where they have a full 2 Spider-Man fucking adventure together. And then he passes the torch. That's my guess.
What if they adapt that Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game? And I'll talk about that.
How does that? Well, yeah, you could talk about it.
So Spider-Man 4 has cast Steven Yeun is being eyed for a role in the next Spider-Man movie. And there are rumors that he could be Mr. Negative.
Wow.
Mr. Negative,
fucking racist.
Mr. Negative is Martin Lee. Martin Lee was a human trafficker, and something happened during one of his runs, and he took the identity of one of the people he was trafficking named Martin Lee, and he eventually rose through the ranks of criminal underworld. He got like captured by a rival gang and experimented on by the guy who gave Cloak and Dagger their powers, right?
Oh, really?
And that's why they all have like this dual, you know, whereas, you know, Cloak has the dark powers and Dagger has the light powers. Mr. Negative has both, but he has two different like personalities as a result of it. So Martin Lee, he's like a Jekyll Hyde character, right? Where Martin Lee is, but not like Severance, right? Not like bifurcated, right? Like he knows, but anyway, that's how kind of Martin Lee becomes Mr. Negative, and he becomes like a crime boss and stuff like that, right? And it's just funny because in that first Spider-Man game, Martin Lee is Mr. Negative is a very prominent antagonist in it. Mm-hmm. And in that game, you also meet Rio Morales. You also meet Miles Morales. You even get to play as Miles pre-powers. And during that game, Miles gets bit by a spider. And the end credits of that game, he's like, "Hey, Peter, I don't know what's wrong with me. There's only one way I can't really explain it, but I can show it to you, right?" And he jumps up and lands on the ceiling. And he's like, "It's fucking weird, right?" And then Peter, because he doesn't know Peter is Spider-Man at this point, and he's like, Peter jumps up right there with him. He's like, "It's not that weird." Right. And then it's like, "Oh,
that's a good
shit."
ending.
And that's how it ends, right? So and that game, I don't think they'll adapt the game, right? I don't. I wouldn't be mad if they did, because it was really, really good. That story. But I like Mr. Negative as a villain. Mm-hmm. I think seeing his powers on screen would be really cool, right? Just the visual effect of what it can be. So his whole deal is like he can corrupt people, right? Like he can use his negative energy to corrupt people and make them do what he wants them to do. I think that would be cool. Kind of. I think that would be pretty cool. I think it also gives an opportunity for Cloak and Dagger to kind of make an appearance. But maybe not. So yeah, I'm all about it, man. I'm super excited. This is like the first proper Spider-Man, right? Like when he is like, okay, I'm Spider-Man now. Like there's no more kid gloves, there's no more fancy suit, right? Mm-hmm. There's no more rich benefactor. Like this is your real quote unquote Spider-Man story. How's he gonna make it when he's got no support system? Right. He's got no aunt, he's got no uncle, he's got no Tony Stark, he's got no funds. Like, and this is quintessential Spider-Man, right? This is, I got a dual life that I got to lead, but I'm compelled to help people because of the massive guilt that I have. Like, I'm super excited for this, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much of anything about Mr. Negative, but I do like the idea of the character. I think he's cool. Like I've just seen the clips like from the game.
What if he corrupts Peter Parker, right? What if Miles is introduced? He corrupts Peter Parker. Miles has to kind of like this. Kal-El, remember who you are, right? What if he's got to do that, right?
I hope he has to deliver it just like that.
Peter, remember who you are.
Why does everyone sound like that? Because our lead actor is not very good. Yeah, no, that would be a nice sort of like if he got the suit and everything and he got his powers in this movie, him having to like kick Peter back into reality basically to save him would be a dope ending. It's like your first job is to save Spider-Man. As Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? Or they'll call him Spin, which I find offensive. Like kid cartoon. It's not as
well, can't have two Spideys.
Yeah, not for kids. They're like, nah, this black kid needs a nickname.
You can't call a Spider. You can't call Ghost Spider Spider-Gwen because that's like calling Batman Bruce Man.
Yeah, that doesn't. Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider is a much better name, by the way. But Yeah, I like this idea. I'm very cool with it. So okay, the talk also is that Scorpion is back as likely a henchman. Um, also, Tombstone and Boomerang as possible other villains. But those sound like characters that are just maybe corrupted by Mister Negative, or just hired goons by Mister Negative or something like that. I could see that.
I mean, I can see there being like what Spider-Man I think needs to do is they need to get back to like Spider-Man fighting gangsters and shit, right? And all those guys are gangsters in their own way, right? And they're like they lead groups of gangsters, right? Scorpion leads a group of thugs. Tombstone leads a group of thugs. I want there to be
And Boomerang.
gang warfare.
Boomerang? Does he have a?
All right, whatever.
That's a nice
I
minute one jobber villain, in my opinion.
wasn't Boomerang. I can't remember if Boomerang was like Peter Parker's roommate at one point. It's something like that. It was something like that. I maybe I'm bugging, but I think I remember Boomerang being like Peter Parker's roommate at one point. He obviously doesn't know he's Spider-Man, right? But like, he's like, oh, I can watch him, keep him at bay. Plus, I need the rent, right? I want there to be a three-way war, gang war. And
that's kind of fun.
That's what Spider-Man has to deal with. You know what I mean? Like
all
this fantastical stuff. All this fantastical stuff is cool. I need a little bit more grounded Spider-Man stories. That's what I want.
I think you're likely to get one that's more grounded, just because now, like they're likely to give you a grounded one because they're getting ready to jump into Secret Wars and all this other stuff. Like they got to give you something on the ground before taking you up there with that character. And now that he's broke, where's he going? He can't afford to go anywhere, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, I like that idea. Tombstone, Mr. Negative, and Scorpion as three rival gangs. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. I think that's actually probably not a bad guess, to be honest. All right, next up, Gears of War movie landing the director of Deadpool 2, I believe. And the Fall Guy, was it David Leitch?
David Leitch.
Leitch. Okay. That's cool. I don't care anything about Gears of War. This is your elephant armor bag.
Gears of War is a video games version of Predator, right? Like in terms of
that makes sense.
In terms of like it's four big, walking penises, right? Just like classic masculinity, right? Walking around with guns with buzz saws on them, right? Because like we gotta have what's the most manliest thing ever? A gun with a chainsaw on it. And they're just walking around killing locusts, right? These enemies that live underground, and they create these giant sinkholes and invade, right? It's not much to it. Okay. It's just a reason for like dudes to kill shit. It's it's a Netflix video game adaptation. Yeah, that seems about right. Like it needs to be on Netflix. Like I can't imagine people putting money in to like make this type of movie and put it in theaters, but I'm all about it. I like Gears. Gears is ridiculous and silly. I like those first three games. Gears 4 and 5, they kind of brought in like their kids and the new class, and they just put too much thought into it. And it's just like, all right, whatever, bro. I don't need to play as Marcus Phoenix's son. Shut up.
You just keep playing as the same character. Who cares?
Right.
You're not required to age them. Like
it's like, what if Predator was like, what if you take the first Predator movie, but you put a bunch of Gen Z actors in it? That's what Gears 4 and 5 are.
No.
And look, I'm old. Okay. I like my I like my stereotypical like meathead movies to be fucking meathead movies. Like
Yeah.
in Gears 4 and 5, there's literally someone with purple hair in it.
No.
And the old man in me, look, the left leaning progressive in me is like, girl power, you do it, you can do anything. I'm here for it. But like the guy in me is like, but I don't want to watch it.
Look, Gears is supposed to be dumb. Like it is. This is supposed to be dumb.
I don't want to think.
Look, I liked Predator. I didn't like Predators. Okay. Hey, look, different types of killers. One who's a serial killer and he's duplicitous. The other movie had a guy get his arm blown off and it was still shooting a machine gun. That's what I'm here for. I get it. I get it. There's layers. I get that. Look, Adrian Brody, he wins Oscars. Why is he in this movie? I'm looking for.
Why is old crooked nose in? Almost going to hook nose. Crooked nose.
Yeah, that's
Adrian Brody
at all.
Yeah, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. Crooked nose is acceptable. The Captain Hook is not. Yeah. No.
I don't even think Adrian Brody's Jewish. It's not.
I don't think he is, but like, it was the nose. His nose. I'm making a joke about his nose. I'm not talking about his religious beliefs. He's got a weird nose. He's got an Owen Wilson. Old Owen Wilson nose should not be a badass.
Yeah, that entire conversation was a real C in the armor, if you will. We're not allowed to say this is a wild term. They should have really just let that one go after like the Vietnam War. Like, you know what? This is just, we're going to just stop saying this altogether. The rumor mill is beginning to spin. Tell me you guys don't read comics without telling me. Punisher special presentation starring John Bernthal reportedly casting a female villain, and all these people are like, here we go again. Dude, one of the most famous Punisher villains is a woman. It's Manu.
Yeah, it's a woman, yo. Like all right, okay, man.
Like you guys, I love the Punisher. I love you never read like any of the Manucci comics or the Return of Manucci, right. None of that. Like, okay. Like I didn't even scroll down to the comments. I saw the headline. I was like, I assume it's Manucci. Like, yeah. Right.
Like,
yeah, she's a ruthless gangster. You know? Like she's just a ruthless fucking gangster. And
also like what she ends up looking like, bro, like
yeah. Somebody put it in the comments. I was like, yeah, like, hey, you incels, you should be excited about this. But the thing is, there are so many women actresses who could crush that role. Like Punisher can only get put up against somebody who can physically punch and kick so many times before it kind of gets boring. Now, if you have somebody who is like this mastermind criminal leader who's just sending legions of people and doing horrendous shit, like that's where it gets way more interesting, right? And then he's confronted with, by this woman. That's when it gets fucking cool. The Punisher versus a bunch of like mobsters that he can just mow down with zero fucking what's the word? Remorse. Yeah, that's fine for me. That's great.
Yo, I want this to be like a feature length film, man. I really do, because like I want to see Barracuda, yo. I want to see the Punisher fight Barracuda, right? And like, it's a shame Michael Clark Duncan is not here with us because he is the perfect Barracuda, right? Like, if you don't know who Barracuda is, if you don't know who Barracuda is like, what if Michael Clark Duncan was Balrog from Street Fighter, but more niggerish, right? Like that's Barracuda, yo.
Jesus Christ. Let me look up the pictures. I haven't looked at that character in a long time.
Yo, he is incredibly violent.
Yeah,
he's incredibly funny. I just want to see that character, man. I want to see that character on screen.
Oh, so right. Bad. He was created by Garth Ennis. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
And if you've never seen what Manucci looks like, watch the 1993 film Boxing Helena. That'll give you a clue as to what Manucci looks like.
You're a piece of shit. You're a mess.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We're old, Jay. We're old.
No shit. No shit. Again, Manucci, also created by Garth Ennis, and of course drawn by Steve Dillon, who draws everyone to look exactly the same for the most part. Steve Dillon is not very good at differentiating what women look like and what men look like. They all kind of just one gender. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, I don't know how long this feature presentation is. I got to imagine an hour, dude. 30 more minutes.
I mean, I think
the movie. Just make a movie.
I think the other one was 45 minutes.
What? Monster or Werewolf by Night?
Yeah, I think it was 45 minutes,
and that was good.
And that was good. It was very good. I do hope we get. I do hope we get a little more though. Right? Like, here's the thing with the Punisher. I'd be fine with a direct to streaming movie, feature length movie. 90 minutes. I don't. They tried the series a couple of times, and
Werewolf by Night, by the way, 55 minutes. So
55 minutes. Okay, I'd be fine with
credits. I'm sure that includes credits. So
yeah, I'd be fine with 80 minutes. I would love 80 minutes of the Punisher.
Yep.
And they tried the series. I think the first season was pretty good. I think the second season was just kind of okay. It lost some steam. And I feel like it's a little too much. Most people who are, Punisher fans, the Punisher is kind of like Rambo, and that first Rambo movie was like about a man coming home from war and like the effects of it.
Right.
And that's kind of what that series was. And people don't want that from their heroes. They want dudes.
They want Rambo people. 3.
Right. They want Rambo. Right. They want killings as easy as breathing.
Right, exactly. Why is he killing all those people? I don't know. It's just this.
Right. So I think we're probably going to get more of the Rambo literally committing a Kano fatality type of Punisher. We ripped the guy's heart out. I think we're going to get a little more of that in this.
That's fine.
And that's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, like, just know what you are. Like, whatever we're doing, just be consistent in that. Cool.
Yeah. Also, like, don't drop the whole, like, the Punisher hates cops thing. Like, we really need to drive that home.
Nah, fuck that.
Like, we really need to let people know that, like, the Punisher doesn't like cops, guys. He's doing this because they are inept.
Yeah. They don't fuck with y'all like that. All right, let's quickly go do what the fuck, and then we're gonna jump into trailers because we got to get out of here.
I didn't even know we had these. All right, a man who survives on bread, cereal, and sweets has never tried fruits and vegetables.
No.
A 35-year-old man diagnosed with
diabetes.
Avoidant restrictive food intake disorder claims that the mere thought of eating fruits and vegetables, eggs, or meat is enough to make him sick. Calling this man a picky eater would be an understatement. The 35-year-old man from this country relies on a very strict daily diet that usually consists of 2 loaves of white bread, 3 bowls of Shreddies cereal, and a lot of sweets.
Britain?
And he is what?
Britain?
Shreddies? Nailed it. It's in the UK. Right. They don't have the man's race. Guess the race, right? Like, it's white bread cereal, white bread cereal, and candy. He said he's never tasted fruits and vegetables because of his bland diet. He needs to take protein and vitamin supplements, but only those that with the taste profile that he can stomach. The unemployed man, no shit, claims to have made attempts to diversify his diet, but they've all ended in failure. A couple of years ago, he was diagnosed with avoidant restrictive food intake disorder and eating disorder that prevents sufferers from eating certain foods. And despite several attempts and treatments, his daily diet remains incredibly restricted. Damn, that just sucks, man. Like it's one thing, like you live over there in the UK, like your food is bland as it is.
It is.
Unless it's one of the people that your ancestors have colonized, and then they bring that food over there, and then it's really good.
Then they claim it. Oh,
right. Right. Yeah, no. Your claim is boiling meat in a pie. You know what I mean? Like that's not.
I do like the meat pies in Britain though. They're really good.
They're good. When I went over there, man, like I went to one restaurant and it just wasn't. It was just like, ugh. It was cod and French fries. That's your fried cod and French fries. That's your fucking.
I'm not a fish and chicken. I don't get the hype at all. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either, man. And then we went and we made a vow.
I'd rather have beans on toast. Okay, like I really.
We made a vow to only eat at ethnic restaurants, and we had a good time.
Yeah, we went to an Indian restaurant when we were in London, and it was unnecessary. Like it was unnecessarily spicy, and I can eat Indian hot food, or at least I could back then. And I was like, this is not even enjoyable. Like it was like you're just trying to prove something. Like it's just, are you just pouring capsaicin on this? Like what is? Like there's no flavor to the food because it's so fucking hot. No, I mean, I'm sure there are great Indian restaurants there because you just colonize the entire country.
I
get it. But yeah, we did go to one restaurant that was like really, really phenomenal. It was like a Michelin star type restaurant when we were there. And that was good. And it was all about pork. It was like pork and other like wild meats. We had pigeon, which was good. Ironically.
I've had pigeon. Yeah. I had pigeon there. Yeah.
It was good.
It was actually, they were just like, watch out for the bones. I'm like, all right, I got you.
Yeah, it's like bad small bones. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to grab a pigeon up a fucking Baltimore street. I can tell you that. But
no, get out of here.
No, this is a free range, high quality pigeon. That's how they do it over there. All right, my story: stir fried cassia caterpillars are hard to stomach delicacy. Yuck. Every year in the month of March and April, cassia trees in this place are invaded by an army of yellowish caterpillars that love nothing more than to feed on their leaves. Once fully developed, the larvae leave the treetops and crawl down the leaves to form cocoons before turning into butterflies and flying away. But before the final transformation occurs, cassia caterpillars gatherers pick the caterpillars, and then they put them into a stir fry, which is a little hard to stomach apparently. They blanch them in boiling water, season them with salt and pepper, and cook them. Although some prefer them grilled or pan fried with animal fat, but the most popular way of cooking them is just to stir fry them.
Stir fry, China. That's
racist. That's fucking racist. You fucking insensitive fucking piece of shit. It's obviously Vietnam. See, I don't like this. The texture is crunchy on the outside and creamy inside. I don't care for that. No.
Nah.
That's like a Boston cream donut. You're never gonna get me to eat one of those. I don't know. You don't know what's in that thing. Zebra jizz.
That's like when Lisa Simpson tried to make something. She was like, "They're burnt on the outside, but cold on the inside, so it balances." Like, nah, yo, that don't.
It does in fact not do that. Jesus Christ. Ugh, gross. Trailers this week. This is an extended full version of Predator, Killer of Killers. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm gonna have real fun watching this. I'm excited about it.
It's quite literally what we just asked for, right? Like, Hey, what if the Predator but in Japan? Hey, what if the Predator but in the Viking era? Hey, what if the Predator but World War II? Like just seeing how what was that show? What was that show that like had different warriors from different eras fight each other in a big what if? I can't remember the name of it, but that's what this is, just with the Predator.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's all I need.
Looks fun. And with animation, you get to do so much more, which is really cool. Oh shit! This is June 6th too, so it's coming up.
Yeah, it's soon.
Yeah, like good. Do things like this. Have fun with it. I got to tell you that scene in the trailer where you see, like in feudal Japan, he's chasing a ninja, and the ninja throws the red mist so that he can see him to throw the daggers at him. That's a pretty dope scene. Like that. That's a really clever. That was a clever way of handling that. So, yeah.
The one thing I want from this is I want some Predator victories. I don't want.
I was thinking about that. Right. I was thinking about that. Like, how is that going to work?
Yeah, I don't need him. I don't need humanity to overcome the Predator in each of these stories. I need at least one Predator. It looks like there are at least 3 stories. I need at least one Predator victory.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the World War II one ends with him being captured. Like, even if whether he killed the one pilot Predator, like, he at least gets captured and is taken to like the Predator world. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks fun. This looks really fun. It would be kind of dope if the Predators win all of them, but they end up capturing all of these warriors. And then that's like season 2 or something, right? Like pitting them into a different world or something like that against each other or something like that. That'd be kind of a fun way to play. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Predators, killer of killers. All right, I'm here for it. Good job. I hate this. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I truly do. Jurassic World Rebirth. I hate that this looks good. I hate it because I want to be done with this series. I have a feeling that Rebirth is not just a name chosen in happenstance. Yeah, this looks
good. Like we're trying to get everybody back, right? Like
I'm so glad they got rid of what's his face, Chris Pratt.
Colin Trevorrow. Oh, Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Yeah. I did not. And I think that guy's a really charming guy. I hated how they wrote him and Bryce Dallas Howard in those last few movies. They were horrible. Like both of them have charisma and they were written as if they've never like picked up a movie script before. It was really weird.
Also, they wrote them as like former lovers that kind of come back at the end of that first movie, and then they broke up again in between movies, and then it's the same arc. Like, all right, bro. And then the little girl was like, I'm going to let all the dinosaurs loose because they're clones just like me. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Yep.
I'm out. And then I didn't see the third one.
I didn't either. I have no idea what happened in that one. This one, was there a third one? I don't even know. This one is just like, oh shit, Dino Crisis. The dinosaurs are on this island. We're trying to get some shit and trying not to die. Cool. Great. And we got guns. All right. Everybody's scared.
Just like go back to your roots, make it simple, but like refine it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Like that's all you really need to do to kind of get people back because people want to like these. I think people do like these movies, even the
no, they make a shit ton of money. They do.
Yeah, these are like $1 billion movies, man. So like, they're never gonna stop. But hopefully, this is kind of a rebirth, like you said. And we'll probably go see this when we're in Florida because, like, ain't shit to do in Florida where she lives at.
When does this come out?
July, like first weekend of July.
Oh, yeah. I'll see this. I hate to say it, but I'm going to see this movie. Because this is directed by the same guy who did Rogue One, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck me. All right. God damn it. Darren Aronofsky's got a new film, Caught Stealing. Yeah, this also looks really fun. This is starring fucking Elvis, Austin Butler over there. He finally got rid of the accent. I appreciate that about it. Who is brought into this sort of weird world by what's his face, that British dude. And,
oh yeah, the dude with no eyebrows.
Yeah, he's really weird looking. So it almost feels like a Big Lebowski style story. Like you got all these different gangsters. One of them is Bad Bunny, I believe, which is weird. And then like some of the gangsters are like Jewish, like Hasidic Jews. Because he like his buddy stole some money, and then like he's getting brought into it like as if he stole the money. It's all these different gangs are after him. Yeah, feels like a Big Lebowski style movie.
Feels like a Snatch movie to me. I'll go see it.
Yep. Yeah, this looks like an easy one. It's also Darren Aronofsky, so that's an easy buy for me. I'm gonna see it. So, but this looks fun. Yeah, you got Vincent D'Onofrio and Liev Schreiber playing
Regina King, isn't it?
Who?
Regina King.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
She plays somebody named Roman.
All right. Yeah. So, all right. That's cool. Look, watching Elvis get beat up by a Hasidic Jew in the middle of the street is fucking hilarious. That's fine. It's just a fucking hilarious scene to me. And then last but certainly not least, the trailer for The Bear, season 4. I mean, what do you say?
What do you say? Like
about a perfect fucking trailer, man. One of the best shows on TV in the last number of years. Yeah, it just looks good, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You seem to have a reunion with his mother. Hopefully, maybe that'll address his crushing anxiety. Team seems to be all together. There's some nice moments, I guess, of characters that you wouldn't think would be interacting in the ways that they do. Ayo Edeberry's character with Bachrach's character. Yeah, this looks good, man. This looks really good. I don't know what else to say about this. Like, this shit looks great. Just looks great.
Yeah. Said about this show, like it's been critically acclaimed, and it's everyone just like, I love it. I know some people had like issues with the third season.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I did not.
Yeah, I didn't really. I thought it was still pretty compelling. It might have been the weakest of the three, but like,
sure, I'll give you that.
You know, I still really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about season 3, and I feel like people's argument against it was they were saying, "Oh, it didn't go anywhere." I feel like people don't know like movie or series arcs, like what the common arcs are. Like the first season is always the like, these are who these characters are, introduction type of thing. You watch them kind of sort of fit together like a puzzle by the end, right? They get tighter by the end. Season 2 is them fucking like rocking and rolling with whatever system they've created, but there is a little bit of turmoil, right? Like of the changing of from the shitty restaurant into the nice restaurant. Season 3 is where things are supposed to fall apart. That was the point of that arc. Like, and I think people want it to be like season 1 or season 2, but like, that's not the arc of the, like, it can't just hit a high point and then just ride that to the sunset. Like, it doesn't work. You have to have some level of conflict. And so season 3, everybody was just kind of like, nobody could connect. Season 4 is when they connect. Like when they reconnect, and then you get the team back to the heights that they haven't even reached before. Like that feels like it feels obvious to me, but which is why I didn't have that much of a problem with it. Because like it seems like a kind of a standard arc for TV shows. So
yeah,
like with like any team up type of thing, you always get that. Guardians of the Galaxy is the same thing. Oh, we're not quite. We become a team. In the second movie, things fall apart. And in the third movie, I don't want to be around you. Oh, the team's back together. Oh my god! Like that's what happens.
The team comes together because one of the members of the family is hurt, right?
He's in trouble.
And now they realize, like, what are we doing? Like, we're a family. Like, we need to come together and pull together for this person that we care about. So,
which is going to be the main character of the show, guys. Like,
right.
That's the point, right? Like, she even says, Ayo Edeberry's character is like, yeah, I get the like craziness, but you can't let that be the driver for the food. Like, you can't. It doesn't work, right? Like, yeah, because that's what was happening to him. He was in a bad place. Like the whole show, the whole season crumbled out from him. Like that was the whole point. So,
right.
I don't know. Like again, it's like the Andor conversation. Hey, this seems obvious. It's obvious to us because we pay attention to these things. It's like it's not obvious to most people. It just really isn't. All right, that is it for us. We will see you guys next week for another show.
See you.